to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning and welcome to the first meeting of 2025. The first order of business this morning is for us to reorganize. So if we could have a nomination for president.
I'd like to nominate the president of our existing board of directors, and hopefully he'll take it on for another year or so. If you'd be so kind enough, I'll nominate yourself to.
Okay, I'd be glad to do that.
Do we have a
I'll
second?
second.
All right. Jordan, you've
Okay.
done such a great job. I
Yeah,
think we're going to
something like that.
another year.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Look forward to serving you again. So do we need a vice president nomination? I think we do, right?
Yes.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion for a vice president nomination.
I'll nominate Bert.
Bert, yeah, that might be good. Let you get your feet under you a little bit. So Bert, I'll second that. So we are, now we are structured, and as Britt mentioned, welcome to this January 7th Board of Commissioners meeting. Would like to welcome Mr. Kevin Myers here to join us, his first meeting on board. So looking forward to having you a part of it and the work we'll do in the years ahead. So welcome.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here for public comment? Okay, seeing none, I'll go straight to our presenters. And first we have Kylie Mitchell with, says agreement.
We have a couple of them.
Okay.
You want them first, or?
You can go through them and then,
Okay, so today we are presenting the support and redaction and microfilm agreements for the maintenance with our CSI software. They're standard agreements. We've been with them since about 2015. I read through both contracts from last year and this year. Don't see any changes. Like I said, we've been with them since 2015, and they've been great to us, constantly upgrading, updating things that we need for our office. The one that I do see on the annual maintenance invoice, we did see a slight increase from last year, about $2,000. We had a similar increase the year before, so it seems pretty standard right now with the new additions that they're having and new support staff that they're adding. But years prior to that, at least 3 or 4 that I went through, we didn't have any changes. So it seems about time that maybe they would be increasing a little bit of prices. But
did you account for that in your budget?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes,
All right,
we get
just-
these early, yes.
Okay, just want to make
Yes.
sure.
They get us an agreement, so we should be good.
Okay. So all of them are the same as last year? Because I know we reviewed them last year. Everything was the same except
Yep,
for the
yep,
increase.
the first one is the reduction and support agreement. And then I sent you guys the invoice just so you could see, and that was the one that I noted the change. The maintenance agreement, they have you sign as well. That one did not change. That's the same price as last year. And then the microfilm services that were required from the retention schedule to keep standard from that too.
Okay. Any
I'll make a
questions?
motion that we approve the contracts.
I'll second.
Motion, second. All right, motion carries 3-0 to approve those. We'll get them signed up here, probably after.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, next up, we have Rick Campbell with a highway update as well as some other departmental changes. Morning, Rick.
Good morning. We had some snow, so the guys was out plowing snow. We started at 4 a.m. yesterday plowing snow, and we worked all the way to 4 last night, and they blew in a little bit last night, so they're back out there today cleaning them up again. I have 2 truck drivers I'd like to promote to operator. They run the boom mowers, and they also do other jobs for us that are, I consider, operators. Jason Swackhammer runs the boom mower, and he'll run the wedge and broom for us. in the springtime or summertime, whenever we need it. And Hector Galvin runs the boom mower, and I can use him on a tractor or a grader whenever one of those guys doesn't come in. So I'd like to promote those two guys and use them as operators when they're not in their trucks.
Okay, and so some of this work they've been doing, correct? Like
Yes.
the boom mower, and so this, if I understood correctly, just to provide a little more context, this came when we did the job descriptions. It showed a difference between a driver and an operator, right?
Yes.
And so this is getting them more in line with the actual
Yes.
work they're doing, rather than being lumped together as one, because there was some differences in those job descriptions as well as the pay scale.
And I've always needed somebody to put in it. We have, when a drag guy takes off, I have roads that need to be drug, and I can't get them drug because I don't have an operator for that drag, so I can put Hector into that drag.
Okay, so this will give you 4 operators
Yes.
now to
Yes.
have in terms of line items and job description.
But they'll still have to drive trucks
Yeah.
from time to time.
Yep, correct. Okay.
Do you
Any,
need a motion for that, or?
we
just
probably better,
approval? You wanna
probably
make a
better have a
motion?
motion.
I'll
to-
make the motion that we promote the two gentlemen to operator.
Okay, thank you.
I'll second that.
Second, okay, motion carries 2-0, and I'll probably add a little bit to your motion, Bert, if that's all right.
Sure.
So it's a promotion of those 2 operators, but also the addition of 2 operator positions
Yes.
in the future. So now there'll be 4 operators
Okay,
rather than
I
2.
agree. That's
So-
fine. Thank you.
Yep.
I also got the community crossings for 2025. I didn't see this until this morning. It didn't pop up on my computer till this morning. I sent it out as quick as I got it, Jordan.
Okay.
So I appreciate the commissioners sign off on community crossings for 2025.
If it's all right, we'll just have Tom review it, and then we can accept it at our next meeting. It looked like it had till the end of the month, I believe, right?
Okay.
And I didn't get a chance to
I didn't
really
see it.
look at it,
I
so.
haven't seen it.
give it-
No,
give it
'cause
a
like I
chance.
said, it just popped up. and-
Yeah,
Okay, that's pretty much all I got.
okay. Any questions for Rick this morning?
Thanks for getting out yesterday. Fortunately, we didn't get hit like they did down south.
All right, thank you, Rick. Okay, next, Liz is not here, so we do not have an area plan update. We have no old business since we met last week, and so we'll move on to a couple items under new business. The first one is our annual appointments, or reappointments that we have to do. Go through those here quickly. So there's currently, it has been conveyed to us that Patty Biesner no longer wishes to serve on the Board of Health. So we now have an opening for that one. I'm kind of announcing this to the board as well as anyone that's watching. So we're entertaining or willing to take applicants for this position. It's very strict in terms of what it can be. So based on the state statute, there's just some criteria that it has to meet to be one of these board members. But one of them, just not to get political, but it is from this standpoint because the statute only allows 4 of one party. So we have to have a Democrat for this position. There's 4 Republicans. This is a Democrat position, and they have to be either a registered nurse, pharmacist, licensed dentist, hospital administrator, a social worker, attorney with expertise in health matters, a school superintendent, a veterinarian, a professional engineer, or an environmental specialist. So this is a very specific appointment that we are looking for. If there's anyone out there that is interested, we would be willing to consider that. So list that one because it's open. It's a 4-year appointment. Next, we have the Kirkland Library for a 4-year term, and that is, I apologize if I mispronounce this. I remember doing this a couple years ago. Misha Primo, I believe is how it is. Okay. So do you want to do them individually, or do you want to read them all and then just accept them at the end?
I think,
All right. Next, we have the Partners in Progress, which will be myself again. Then we have the Redevelopment Commission, which is Jay Hawley, as well as myself. We have Wildcat Solid Waste District, which is Commissioner Weaver, Commissioner Myers, and myself. And then we have one opening on that as well, but that comes from, we'll wait, the towns make a recommendation. They have their meeting with the area plan here at the end of January, right, Dan? And so they'll provide a recommendation for us at that point. It's typically how we've done it. Next, we have the Alcohol Beverage Board, and that is Leland Moyer. We have the Frankfort Clinton County Airport Authority Board, and our appointment that is up this year is Alan Dunn. We have the Big Cicero Drainage Board, and I would be willing to continue to serve on that one. National Organization of Disability, we have Don Albitz. PETA BOA, we have Larry Moser, is that right?
Moser,
Yep. And then this, we may want to do this one separate. And then we have Dana Myers. And again, that one is, you have to have level 2 credentials to be that appointment. So it's a very small pool of applicants that are in Clinton County. Community Corrections, we have Bert Weaver. And then I know we have our NCIRPC, which is the North Central Indiana Regional Planning Council, which is Kevin Myers. And that is all the appointments that I see on here. So with that, I'll entertain a motion. I don't know if you want to abstain from, does he need to abstain from his appointment, Dana? So, all right, so we'll do all of them except for Dana Myers, and then Bert and I can do that
All
one,
right.
so.
Well, I'll make the motion that we accept all of those with the exception of the one mentioned. And then, so I'll move that we offer those positions again.
Okay,
Okay, I'll second.
all right, motion carries 3-0 to accept those appointments. And then we have the one that we left off, which was to PETA BOA, a 1-year term for Mrs. Dana Meyer.
I'll make the motion that we utilize Dana again for the PETA BOA.
Okay, that motion, I'll second that, so that's 2-0 with Kevin abstaining. Next item, we have our annual county attorney contract to renew with Mr. Tom Little. We've had this for a couple weeks now. He sent it there middle of December, chance to review. Looked good. I think
Yeah.
all the feedback was presented and we
Yeah.
made the necessary changes, so I'll entertain a motion to appoint Tom for another year.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, motion by Kevin, second by Bert. Motion carries 3-0 for that. Department heads. Do you have any department heads? Morning, Renee.
Good morning. Welcome, Kevin.
Thank you.
Wanted to make the commissioners aware, it may need your approval. Kind of some background here for a little bit of reorganization in our department. Several months ago, we went with a new training program to help us called Frontline. It's kind of to streamline all of our training, how to document everything. As Chris and I moved forward last year in this, and we've continued that through this year, we wanted to do a little reorganization. We have always had 4 shift supervisors. A few years ago, we had 1 shift supervisor that took on additional duties as a training coordinator. And we have decided now that things have more streamlined, that the training coordinator additions did not need to go to that shift supervisor any longer, as Chris and I are going to absorb those using this new program. So the one position, she always had the same shifts, nothing changed as far as job descriptions, because she always had the shift supervisor job description, but then she had the additional duties of the training coordinator. So in our reorganization, we decided to, again, like I said, take those away, as Chris and I are going to absorb those using this new program that we have. I'm going to go before the council next week as well, because her one position was a separate line item. It was called shift supervisor / training coordinator, and we're going to take that amount with council approval from that line and put it into just the shift supervisor line item.
Okay.
again, we met with her, Chris and I did. We've talked to the auditor's office and trying to work through, some of this. It was basically just removing some of the duties that she did have back to just Chris and I. But I wanted to make you aware of that. There's no, I don't know, what do I want to say? Nothing else has changed. There's no additional, it just is going back to the original, what we had back several years ago to the 4 only shift supervisors. If that makes, I know it's kind of a rambling explanation of things, but I did want to bring that before you. And then I'm on the agenda next week for the council meeting, as I want to transfer that money from that line item that had always been to the shift supervisors.
So you're just eliminating that line and
Yes,
putting the funding
yes,
into the
yes.
other line?
Yeah, but I wanted, obviously, I talked to Britt as well. I've been working with Cecily too, and needed to definitely make you aware, and, if you need to approve that, that's fine. But I wanted to make you aware before I go to the council next week, just for an explanation with them before they do the transfer.
Okay.
Renee, just one question that I just now thought of. Is the training in her job description? Do we need to revise the job description?
Hers was separate, so Cecily had me, when we met with her, she re-signed just the shift supervisor.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Job description.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
Okay.
I feel like it's okay for us to approve.
Yeah, yeah. We might as well. It's kind of in that gray area if we do, because it's not really adding, it's subtracting.
taking away.
But to be consistent, we might as well make the approval. So is that a motion to approve?
If we need to have that,
Yeah.
I'll make that motion that
Okay.
we allow that deletion, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll second that.
Okay. Motion carries 3-0.
Okay. I don't have anything else unless you do for me.
No,
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Any other department heads? None? None? Okay. All right, we'll move on. Commissioner reports up. Do you have anything, Stephen?
Yeah.
Okay. Guess what?
Good morning.
You
Saved by the bell.
Perfect timing.
didn't even have to wait.
You guys almost got lucky. Hey, I just want to touch base. This is something I've talked with Jordan about. We've been in works with our billing company for the last several months trying to work through this legislation and figure out exactly what we're able to do. That's House Bill 1385, went into effect January 1 of this year. What it says is that for private insurance companies, will be able to bill at 400% of the set or the published rate for the ambulance service established by Medicare law. So it allows us to increase our contractual allowances with our private insurance and attain a higher reimbursement rate. There are some caveats to this that the state has not really shared fully with all the EMS services that our billing company has been able to shed some light on because of how this bill has worked in other states, especially Texas. And really it comes down to which insurance companies are being managed directly by the state of Indiana and which insurance companies they have an agreement with. And so I don't think that this is going to be quite as lucrative as we anticipated, but there's still a significant or a chance for a significant increase in reimbursement. So I'm still working on getting our 2024 fee schedule or our 2025 fee schedule and our 2024 client analysis. But ultimately 28% of our payer mix is private insurance. And the proposal is that we budget bill the remaining or balance bill, the Medicare, Medicaid, and self-insured. And for the private insurance, we utilize this rate so that we can collect a higher rate from Blue Cross Blue Shield and United IU Health Insurance as well. So I just want to start rolling this discussion out. I've got some numbers that would be our proposed increased rates, and as I continue to work with our billing company, I'll get an exact proposal for you, but I just wanted to initiate the conversation since the House bill went into effect.
Okay.
So,
Any questions?
No.
Good overview. Thank you.
yep, thanks.
Okay. Move on. Commissioner reports?
I have none.
Mr. Myers, do you have anything yet?
He's got 4 or 5, right?
Okay, I got a couple for us here. First one, back in middle of December, we received some more opioid funds email, so just making that announcement, roughly $10,806 of restricted funds came through. We last week posted our position for an HR director, so just kind of putting it out there. We're accepting applications, looking to have someone full-time in Clinton County doing HR for the county and all the departments. So we'll take those for a few more weeks here and see what type of application pool we get, and then start doing the interview process. I should have mentioned this last week, and I forgot. And I know we've went through a few bumps, but we'll get through it. Our new fuel system's in place, right? And so the fuel is now for county is to be utilized out at the EMA facility. It has 2 gasoline tanks, 2 diesel tanks, and then the highway has their own. So if we're having issues, just call us, let us know, and we'll work through them. It seems like it's more on the backside, but we've got most of those worked out from what I've heard, but I'm sure there'll be more that pop up, but ultimately it'll be better in the long run. Just change is always a little difficult at first. So the last one I have here is we will work on, we've kind of talked a little bit ahead of this in the past. It hasn't been done here more recently, but probably wasn't it closer to your first time, Bert, when we did more of a liaison of a commissioner for each department rather than more of the open dialogue that's now. Still be open, but we're gonna we'll work through getting assigned, and we'll probably have that at our next meeting so that every department has a liaison of one commissioner they go to first, and then if you have issues or you're unable to get a hold of them, then you can kind of just go through the channel that way rather than everybody talking circles around each other. So we'll implement that back into position and go from there. So that is the last update that I had for this morning. I'll move on to our board business. We have claims from January 3rd in the amount of $6,192.06. A biweekly from January 7th in the amount of $347,347.07. Court claim from January 7th in the amount of $3,884.55, and a highway claim from January 7th in the amount of $13,000. Entertain a motion to approve the claims.
I'll move to approve the claims.
Second.
All right, motion carries 3-0. Next, we have a regular meeting minutes from December 31st, as well as our joint executive session minutes from December 31st.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved. I assume you'll abstain,
Abstain.
and we'll take that 2-0 on the minutes. No payroll today?
Not today.
Okay. Minutes. Our next meeting will be January 21st. Is there any other business to come before us this morning? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
You survived. You made it. Old hat now.
Yeah, I'm a veteran.
You're experienced.
You're a veteran.
Oh, Mr. Sheets,
Hey, Dan?
what did you show up for? I thought you had something to say.
Yeah, that's it.
I have a question, but we'll talk about it during the work.
Fair enough.
I thought you were just gonna make faces at me or something.
No,
No pictures or
I
anything.
attended the last meeting last year, so I attended.
Yep,
the
first and last.
So now I'm done.
Oh, yeah.
I can sit back in my office, drink coffee, put my feet up, watch the
True. True.
Another year.
Mike,
Good idea.
who doesn't at the moment?
Yeah.
45 minutes, we'll see you.
You survived.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep in the middle of the road.
Definitely.
See ya.
I don't hit snow until I get closer over past Sheridan. When I hit Sheridan, I had like 1.5, maybe 2 inches on the ground. It's weird, that line somewhere.
Well, I'm glad it stayed down there.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Go that way.
Much appreciated.
I'm more boisterous than Jerry.
Now you get
Well,
signed
usually I
life
do.
away.
I really don't know why I passed it to the left. I mean, literally have never passed it to the left, so
Okay, I got
not
you
really
set.
I
sure.
just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Grace Pavea, and I'm the archivist here. And if you ever want to know what I do, come on down.
Okay,
Just on the phone.
all right,
Okay.
sure will, thank you.
Hi, Grace.
Hi, Jordan.